Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty.
Good morning, Bellows Falls and Rockingham, and welcome to the feed. It's Mike Smith. Marty had some previous engagements today, so she's not going to be with us, but we're being joined today by Leslie Lassiter and Claire Adams, and they're going to talk with us today about art and the art scene in Bellows Falls and what's happening now and what could be happening in the future. So this is going to be great. First, I want to start with a few local events. The movie this week is Thor, Love and Thunder. I want to check that one out. It looks like it's going to be a funny version of Thor.
I've seen that. It is funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Got a review here that says that's good. And then this week's classic movie, pardon me, is Grease with Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, a classic love story and tragic story of Olivia Newton-John just passed this last week. There's an event at Parks Place this week I want to highlight. Their back to school community block party is on Saturday, August 27th from 1 to 3 p.m. You want to check that out. It's going to have a lot of activities for the kids, and hard to believe we're going back to school already, but so it goes. But anyway, that's our local events. Just a couple local events that I'll just throw out too is the Cornish Fair is this week. I don't know if anybody goes to the Cornish Fair in New Hampshire, but it's one of those classic old school fairs with like food and ice cream and all sorts of tractor pulls and horse pulls, and it's well worth going if you like a classic fair. And then the Green Mountain Bluegrass and Roots Festival is this weekend in Manchester Center, which is they have an amazing lineup for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So you might want to check that out. But today we're here to talk with Leslie and Claire about art, and I think we're starting. First, I want to welcome Claire because she hasn't been on before. Leslie's sort of a regular now. She's, old hat. She just comes at the last minute.
Yes, I showed up at the last minute. It was 8 minutes till 11.
No
but
more
it was before 11.
No more anxiety about appearing or anything like that. She's just here doing it. So, Leslie, tell us a little bit about what's happening at the River Valley Artisans.
So, River Artisans Cooperative,
Sorry.
RAC, River Artisans Cooperative. Today we're going to showcase two of our persons. And I'm going first because first we'll talk about Stephanie Sullivan, let me say it right, Stephanie Sullivan. And we've got a lovely video clip of her work. And then we'll talk about Thomasin Alexander. We call her Alex, but her name is Thomasin Alexander, and she's quite illustrious. I'm going first because Thomasin is part of River Artisans Cooperative as well as part of Canal Street Gallery. So she's going to be our segue into Claire's segment today because she shares both of these art venues, which is really cool. We have artists here and the artists, have their art in different places. So let's start with Stephanie Sullivan. She's been part of River Artisans since January. She's a real fireball of a woman, very active. We love it that she's joined because she helps do things and get things done. But she does the most lovely, the things she has in our shop are the most lovely small things like this big. Some of them are paintings on wood. Some of them are paintings on stationery. So rather than go to Walgreens and pay $6, $7.50, $8, $9 for a card that anybody in the United States or the world could buy, you can buy a greeting card that is real true art. There's not another one like it anywhere because Stephanie has made each one separately.
Right.
And so, how often can you get a greeting card that's a brand new painting?
That's true. My wife watched the clip and she was like, we should really get some of those and frame them because they would be yeah, just nice pieces to frame.
Yeah, you could give
Yeah.
a greeting card that would be frameable, and it is really art. So, Stephanie Sullivan, is it time for our clip?
I believe it is.
Let's do our clip.
Let's go to our first clip. This is Stephanie Sullivan, River Artisans Cooperative. You can pass the sound.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Sullivan. I'm a new member at the Cooperative as of this year, and I make hand-painted cards for the shop. These are a combination of leaf print and acrylic paint and pen. So I do some brush work and dots and pen work after I establish the leaf print pattern. So I try to focus on native plants, things that grow. I collect plants from my woods and the surrounding field. I think it's really important to focus on healthy habitats, so I try to select plants that grow in the wild, native plants in the area to feature them. I find them to be just as beautiful, if not more, than plants you buy at the nursery. I really like the idea of having original artwork that's shareable and affordable for everyone. So each of these cards is hand painted and unique, and it's a great way to give a gift, give someone a card, and it's something they can keep and frame and enjoy for years to come. A lot of these cards are also available on my website, sullivanart.net, and the proceeds from my website, I use a portion of those sales to support growing native plants and supporting healthy habitats. I also make mixed media paintings on wood with the use of leaf prints again, acrylic paint, pen, and I also put some collage elements into the paintings as well, celebrating the natural habitats and the native plants that live in the area. I really enjoy having work here at the Cooperative. I find that it's a great space. It's very accessible and welcoming here, and I really love the mix of talents and styles here. There's just something for everyone at the shop here downtown in Bellows Falls. So it's a wonderful place to take a walk downtown and get some coffee and look at all the wonderful local makers down here. They have such wonderful energy, and they're such wonderful, kind people.
That's pretty interesting.
So that was Stephanie Sullivan
Yes.
talking about her art.
And we were talking while doing the filming that she may do a show with us later where we do a garden tour and then highlight her art as a function of where it came from. So looking more at the process and how it happens, and that's pretty exciting.
She'd be marvelous for a
Yeah.
whole show.
Yeah, I think so.
It would be our third artisan to have an entire show. So book it, do it.
Book it.
Do
Book
it.
Dana. All right.
So we're now going to talk about Thomason Alexander. And I actually have an email. Thomason does beautiful beaded works. So she has beaded works that are for sale in River Artisans Cooperative. But she's also an artist that's affiliated with Canal Street Gallery. So let me tell you a little bit about the illustrious Thomason Alexander. She had her own bead store for 11 years in Northern California. She did stringing, wirework, bead weaving. She's written 2 books. They're out of print now, but books on beading. She's done tons of jewelry and tons of holiday ornaments. When we had that May open studio, she was one of our artisans who had a demonstration. So you could show up during that open studio and make your own beaded ornament, and she would let you know how to do it. So maybe next year, if we're part of Open Studio, she'll do that again. So she's really quite illustrious. She's been part of galleries. She's been part of consulting for Czech glass bead firms. Like, she's been part of a Japanese art something or other. It's all in here, and I'm getting a little bit. Let's see, a manufacturer of Czech glass beads. She was like a consultant for them. So, like,
really?
she's not somebody that's does this lovely stuff at home in a corner. She's had, an across the nation and across the world impact.
Yeah, her work is really beautiful.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in our shop, her work is pretty small, or it's jewelry, with it's beautiful. Like there's this folded metal jewelry. And in your gallery is her bigger, beautiful, super incredible stuff.
Yeah, there's wall
I shouldn't
hangings
say
and-
stuff, her beautiful artwork.
Yes.
So,
It's interesting. She has sort of an idea. I like the sugar skull themes that she does. I don't know. They're sort of Latin, Mexican origin, Day of the Dead, and she has a variety of the beadwork that she does has that theme to it, and it's just fascinating. Yeah.
so
So, and we have another clip.
I think it's clip time because words don't do what looking at her beautiful artwork will do.
So I guess we'll go to the next clip.
Thomas and Alexander. There's Thomas and Alexander, but there's her work, her
Yeah.
beautiful beaded artwork. And I think since we're going to go from River Artisans to Canal Street Gallery, this might be a good time to show the visual for where River Artisans is.
Do we have the visual for where? There it is.
There it is. You can see us in the square. We're between Village Square Booksellers and Rock and Hammer. So that's between the bookstore and the jewelry store. And we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Think of it like a long weekend, Friday to Monday, but add Thursday to that. When December gets here, we're usually
We're gonna
open
go-
December 1 to
yeah.
24, but we're closed Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday. But come see these people's artwork, and we have 25 people. Come see the other 23 artisans.
Great. Well, thank you. Claire, how are you? This
I'm
first
good.
appearance.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mike,
Oh.
here to talk about Canal Street Art Gallery and art in Bellows Falls.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself first. I mean, how did you come to be an artist, and then how did you come to Bellows Falls or the Bellows Falls area?
Oh, let's see. I probably have always been an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Museum School of Fine Arts in Boston
Nice.
and studied painting, and I moved to West Townsend in 1988, and I was there for 25 years, painting away and
Mm-hmm.
all doing some community projects. I worked for the West River Community Project. I started that
Oh, okay.
group
Uh-huh.
back in probably 2009.
Uh-huh.
But when my kids went to Vermont Academy, I moved over to Saxon's River.
Oh,
So
okay.
that brought
That
me to
makes sense.
this
Yeah,
way.
perfect, yeah.
Yep. And got involved with Bellows Falls and the art scene there.
And then you're
Which I-
currently doing more painting on glass. Is that
So I've
correct?
evolved
How do
from
I describe
painting
that?
to printmaking, and then I started painting on glass, which I really love.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a whole learning curve. It's taken me several years to really learn the technique. It's kind of the old stained glass painting technique.
Oh,
So,
so
would
maybe
I
you could show a couple
something?
pieces.
So
Yeah.
I've been working on portraits. I don't know if you can see this
Yeah.
there. This is Maya Angelou on glass. And I have another one
Do
here.
you want me to?
You want to hold it? Sure.
Yeah. I think I'll.
I don't know if everyone knows who this is. She's been in the news lately. This,
Yes. Very a
Liz-
lot in the news.
yeah,
It's
Liz Cheney. Yeah, with a nice white border because she tells the truth.
Courageous woman.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's been very brave. I admire her. And I also do other themes on glass.
Yeah, and so you work at not that you work at, but you work with the gallery, Canal Street Gallery.
I'm a member of the Canal Street Art Gallery.
Yeah.
I have been for almost since its inception. So Mike Noyes owns the gallery, and he's done a great job of promoting local artists. So you can join and be a represented artist there,
Uh-huh.
a part of the group, which is a great way to meet other artists, and there's some real camaraderie there.
Well, one of the things I'm fascinated with is it seems the art scene in Bellows Falls or in Rockingham, or however you want to describe
Greater
it,
Rockingham
Greater
area.
Rockingham area is really evolving, and there's a lot of collaboration now and a lot of cooperation, and people like cross-fertilization of artists, like with Main Street Arts and 33 Bridge Street and the Canal Street Gallery and the River Artisans Cooperative, all seem to be like starting to build.
So the arts in Bellows Falls are really thriving.
Yeah.
I think it really started with Ramp and Robert McBride, and he put
Yeah,
a lot of
true.
energy into the art scene and introduced a lot of artists to one another. He had artist town meetings 2 or 3 times a year. And so
Do
we
those still
kind
happen?
of started networking. We had one. Well, the pandemic really put a hold on that, and
Yeah, it
we were
would.
doing
Yeah,
them
yeah,
through
yeah.
Zoom, but it's not the same as in person with
yeah.
a potluck. So I hope they can start again.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of artists at 33 Bridge Street, and we did an open studio there. We have a group we call ourselves Art in Bellows Falls, and we try to meet monthly or bi-monthly and just talk about what everyone's doing and how we can help promote ourselves and others in the art community in general.
Yeah. Well, we have a clip of the gallery, and maybe we can look at the clip because you have a new space, right? And you've expanded.
Yeah, it's
to
doubled,
almost-
right?
Canal
Or more
Street
than
Art-
doubled.
Yeah.
Gallery has doubled, and the new space is beautiful.
Boy, it is. It's
And
amazing.
a bunch of there was about 4 of us that helped support Mike, and he did a Kickstarter fundraiser, and he raised money for new lighting and new walls, and it's really a beautiful space. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
So we have a clip, and we can watch that clip, and then we can talk a little bit about the space and the current exhibits. You can see, boy, the new space is amazing.
It's really beautiful. That show is the summer group show, and that's on through September 3rd. So if you haven't seen it, you should go in the next couple of weeks.
And maybe you
before
could
it's
talk
down.
a little bit about that process, because there are group shows and then there are individual shows.
Oh,
and-
Mike has all kinds of shows
Yeah.
going. So make sure you check the website, canalstreetartgallery.com, and he'll tell you what's showing now, what's showing in the future, what shows you might be able to apply to. I know there's an All Vermont Open show coming up.
Oh, really?
The
Neat.
deadline's at the end of the month, so if
I
someone
think
would
the
like
deadline's
to...
August 22.
August
Yeah.
29th, I think.
Then it changed, because the last time I spoke
Yeah,
with
so
him.
I think it's open to anyone. You don't have to be
Yeah.
a member to...
Oh, were you thinking about entering?
Yeah,
Good.
one of my bird friends
Yeah.
maybe. So
And there's a show now, John Vanderdoss, I think his name is. It's Sacred Geometry. I have not
yeah,
seen it,
that
but
was
it looks
interesting. Yeah,
looks
very
really
good,
nice.
yeah.
And I know they've been doing yoga in the studio along
Oh,
with
really?
that.
That's an
that
interesting
show.
thing. Because you've doubled the space, it really has made some really interesting areas. So where I could see where you doing yoga in that front area would really be nice.
So it allows for Mike to have group shows and individual shows going on at the same time. And I know he has an idea for a space in the back of the gallery to have a artist in residence.
Oh,
Ooh.
So I know he'd like
Ooh.
to have 3 or 4 people a year to be working
uh-huh.
in the space, so people can watch the artist's work.
Yeah,
And
that would
it's
really
a
be-
good. I think it's a affordable way for a
Yeah.
young artist too to get started with a nice space
Sure.
and
Yeah.
meet other artists as well.
It's so dynamic, a space. I mean, that's just an interesting idea that you would do the artist in residence, and it seems to be always growing
And lots of ideas.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
he has a show planned, Right to Privacy, it's called.
Really?
The 29th Amendment. So artists can respond in a political
yeah.
way to how they feel about that.
oh, that's pretty amazing. I like that idea.
So there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Good.
Right to privacy, and I'm holding pictures of a very public person that you
Who
did.
is yes?
Yeah, I also did one, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh.
So she'll be in
Oh.
the Right to Privacy show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
So you have do you have a gallery and a studio in Saxon's River then, or
well, I'm in Cambridgeport.
Cambridgeport?
Yeah, I'm Cambridgeport Road. I have a studio there where I do my printmaking and glass painting.
Uh-huh.
And I have had it open to the public during Vermont Open Studio Weekend
Uh-huh.
occasionally.
Oh, cool.
But
I think I first saw your work at Main Street Arts when you were. It was just last
there was
wasn't that one?
a
Yeah.
summer show at Main
Yeah,
Street
yeah.
Arts.
where you had the fish and several other pieces in the windows. That
Yeah.
were really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might have at least a display of your website, but I'm not sure. Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah. Check out my website, claireadamsart.com, and you can see some of my prints there and my paintings on glass. So that's the Vermont Artists is part of our group Art in Bellows Falls. So if anyone's interested in that, you can contact someone in that group. It should list all the names.
And we're actually down to about a minute,
Okay.
believe it or not. So I would ask that you share well, you just did, I think, contact information or things that you want people to know, and then we'll ask Leslie to do a last minute follow-up with about
River Artisans.
Well, I just
Yeah.
want to reach out to artists and art lovers. Check out Bellows Falls if you haven't.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
it's a great place.
I agree. Leslie.
And come to River Artisans Cooperative. We have 25 artisans, from oil paintings to pot holders, from napkins to beautiful jewelry, from winter hats to framed art or matted art. Lots of stationery. Don't go to Walgreens for your greeting cards. Come to us. Come to us. We have lots of beautiful stationery.
Great. Well, thank you both for coming on. I hope you will both
Well, thanks
agree
for
to come
having
on
us.
again and do some more talking about art in Bellows Falls, because it is a great subject and it's a great thing that's happening. So until next week, this is the feed, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music, Mike and